All right, concept quiz number 2. We're solving quadratics by factoring where a is equal to 1. So we would like to find the factors of 40 that add to negative 13. They are 8 and 5, both negative because a negative 8 times a negative 5 gives you the positive 40, and negative 8 minus 5 gives you the negative 13. So we'll take those two numbers, x minus 8 times x minus 5, set it equal to 0. If two things multiply together to give you 0, that means either this guy is equal to 0 or this guy is equal to 0. And we solve, add 8 to both sides, get x by itself. And do the same thing over here, get x by itself. So x is equal to either 8 or 5. We have the same outside number here. Find two numbers that multiply to give you a negative 40, but add to negative 3. So go through all the factors of 40 and find that 8 and 5 seem to be a good combination. I need them to add to a negative 3, so I'm going to put my negative sign on 8, and let's check. Negative 8 times 5 gives you negative 40. Negative 8 plus 5 gives you negative 3. So again, we'll take those two numbers, x minus 8 times x plus 5 is equal to 0. Set each piece equal to 0. Do the opposite operation to move it, which means x is equal to 8, and here we subtract 5, which means x is equal to negative 5. So here x is equal to 8, comma, negative 5. This is one of our special cases. Our b term is missing. We call this the difference of squares. Actually, both of these are difference of squares, which means when we factor this, we need factors of negative 100 that add to 0. 100 is a perfect square, so that's going to be x plus 10 times x minus 10 is equal to 0. X plus 10 equals 0. X minus 10 equals 0. Solve, you get negative 10, and here you get positive 10. All right, and then this one here, again, difference of squares. 49 is a perfect square, so factors of 49 that add to 0. We can set up that diamond if you would like. To add to 0, that'd be 7 and negative 7. So then set that one equal to 0. Set this one equal to 0. X is equal to negative 7 or a positive 7. I don't know why I keep trying to write that negative. Positive 7. All right. This side over here, we need to get one side to equal 0, so we need to add 2x to both sides and subtract 2 from both sides. Be careful with your math. X squared plus x minus 12 is equal to 0. So we need factors of negative 12 that add to positive 1. They are 4 and a negative 3. So x plus 4 times x minus 3 solve both problems separately. So our answer is negative 4, comma 3. This one here, we need to find factors of 10 that add to 0. Well, factors of 10 are 1 and 10, 2 and 5, and that's it. And none of them add to 0, so this one is not factorable. Looks like it should be difference of squares, but we're not taking the difference. It is a positive. And last but not least here for your mastery, again, we want to get everything together on one side. So let's subtract each thing from the right-hand side, or do the opposite operation from the right-hand side here and move it to the left-hand side. So we subtracted 2x squared. We decided to add 10. And we're going to subtract 5x. So when we do that, I'm going to put my highest term here first, so I get x squared. The minus 5 plus 5, they cancel each other out. And negative 35 plus 10 gives you a minus 25. And then here we need factors of negative 25 that add to 0. This is actually a difference of squares. So this is going to be a positive 5 and a negative 5. So x plus 5 times x minus 5 is equal to 0. And again, solve each one of those individually. So x is equal to a positive 5 or x is equal to a negative 5.